Hey, thank you so much for tuning in to This Is Real with a.k.a. Dr. Love Juan Martinez.
And Stephanie Rave. Good to see you guys.
Man, we're back.
Back in action every week.
I love it. I really love it. Let's say, well, you love it. Yeah, I give my life for this thing, man. I enjoy talking to people.
Real people.
Yeah, about real problems and always giving them real solutions.
Right.
You know, and just our interviews are getting greater and greater, and they're just from, glory to glory, right?
You think you can't get any better, and then boom, hit you with something else.
Yeah, like, last week Antoine, help from KMF. And then,
stuff.
This week, we got a guy that is known in the podcast world as a guy who runs his mouth. And, hey, this is like the only time where you with a podcast like that, you're almost called to run your mouth.
Right.
Like, maybe one day we're going to be run your mouth.
We're going to go on there, yeah.
Yeah, without a doubt. So we can run our mouth.
We're loud, right? We're all running our mouth.
Absolutely. And so let's introduce today's guest with us, man. This is a man, Louisiana. Come on. Nola.
Hey.
Come on. Gifted.
Hey.
The Flametrowa.
Greetings and salutations.
That's exciting. Hey, we're going to give you some.
Hey,
check it out. We got to give you some. I figured it was just right for the hand clap.
Yeah,
It felt right.
It felt right.
Yes,
it's a good thing.
Yes,
Come
sir.
on.
Yes, sir.
And so, obviously we love keeping it real on this show, because I feel like when you truly pull back and are transparency, other people get to grow.
Yeah.
I think when you keep it fake, people have been wearing masks pre-corona.
Pre-corona,
pre-corona. And they feel uncomfortable wearing a mask. You should feel uncomfortable wearing that mask you wear.
The other mask you had on.
Yeah, the spiritual
your
one.
two
come
faces.
on. That's real.
That's real.
Yeah.
That is real. We like to keep it 100.
Pun intended.
Yeah.
This is
and so,
real.
hey, before, because you rap, there's a whole lot of things. I love talking to you because a lot of times people judge a book by its cover.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah,
so first, before we let them know what you do today.
Okay.
No, maybe we should let them know what he does today.
Okay. Tell us.
What is it that you do? Who is Terrence
right
Veal?
now?
Who is Terrence Veal?
Great. That was great because I wear many hats. Terrence Veal is a husband, a father of 6. I'm a grandfather of 5. I'm a school teacher.
You're a teacher?
I'm a teacher.
Nah, not with the tats and all.
Yes,
You're a teacher.
Yes, 6th, 7th,
Nice.
8th grade English.
Ooh.
How was that?
Middle
I
school.
love it, man. I love it because I love
Stephanie
kids.
at 13.
I'm goofy, so it works out. It's a dream for me.
Nice.
You love to teach.
I love it. I've not had a moment where I've waking up like, I gotta go work. I hate this.
Nice.
You enjoy it.
I love it.
You're in their lives. How's this whole Corona thing being a
100%.
teacher?
It's awkward. Obviously, it's taking us all out of our element, but as far as just with the educational purposes, it changed the dynamic because there's no more hands-on with those kids.
Yeah.
In middle school, it has to be hands-on. I feel like I don't want to knock what's going on, but I don't think that this process, as far as the internet and computers, are good for middle school kids.
Yeah.
It's really hard to get them to properly engage and to more or less get the parents to help us properly engage, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Very
It's a
difficult.
team effort. The kids aren't just going on there by themselves. They need
they're
the
not.
family support.
They're not there at all.
And there's a little difference, because I think a lot of times we're like, even from a church perspective and all, they're like, hey, we could do it. But the reality is that being at home all day, all the time, through a screen, it creates a form of complacency and comfortability. We already want to be comfortable and complacent. So imagine if you're forced to, unless you really are that kind of motivated person, that, because sometimes you're watching a service online, right? And you're drinking coffee, eating a donut. You're checking Facebook, you're scrolling
through Instagram on your phone,
at the same time. It's a little different than when you're sitting there and you're kind of like involved in it, and your hands are up and you're praying, and so it's probably the same thing as a school
in a
teacher,
classroom,
right?
right?
In a classroom.
Well, you say all the time, human beings are designed for community.
Yeah.
We're not designed to be isolated. So I 100% agree with you.
Yeah, it's starting a whole lot of fights from what I hear out there. From a marital perspective,
Yes.
I think sometimes as parents, you want your kids to go back to school.
Yes. You're like, get out the house.
You're like, get
They try
him
to-
out the house.
Yes.
So all of that.
Yes.
So that's incredible that you're a
I love
school teacher.
it.
But
I
that's
love
not how it always has been for Mr. Terrence Veal.
Oh no! I've done everything from selling drugs to giving blood to driving an ice cream truck.
You drove an ice cream truck. You gotta be kidding me.
Master P was my co-pilot.
Hey, I just saw, that's crazy. Because I was like, I stood up late because I was watching the Chronicles of No Limit.
Yeah,
and so he was showing Louisiana. So I got to understand you a little bit more.
Yeah, a little bit.
And he was famous with the whole ice cream truck song.
Yes, that was his thing.
And that made you want to go drive an ice cream truck.
It did not. But being broke and not being able to find a job made me, that was the only thing available, and I had to get busy for my kids. I had my first kid when I was 15.
You've been shot in the face. So you had your kids when you were 15, first kid.
I believe in doing everything fast, man. You start early, knock it all out. That way you got the rest of your life, man.
Listen. Remember, he's running his mouth. He's got the truth behind this. That's how he
13,
believes.
12, do drugs, have kids, do work, and now you're done.
That didn't work out too good.
It didn't work out. I've been shot in my face. God gave me grace. Had a horrible night. Big party. Guns came out, and my brother, my god brother, he's like my brother. He was standing in front of a red pickup truck. I never forget it. We lost each other in the flurry of bullets, and it wasn't just one person shooting. It's two people out here with guns, and you can hear the bullets hitting. My brother actually came. He's been to Get Rap a few times too.
Nice.
You can hear the bullets hitting the truck, and so once I caught his voice, I jumped up, ran, grabbed him, and as soon as I grabbed him and slammed him to the ground, a bullet just came straight through my face.
Wow.
Okay. So
I'm also a superhero.
I've been in scenarios, and your heart's racing. So I've been in scenarios where bullets are flying.
Yeah.
I have not gotten hit, and I don't want to get hit.
Thank God.
Yeah.
But like the moment a bullet hit, it hits your leg. You're like, because now I've been in a scenario when a friend of mine, now he got hit in the back end. Okay. And so that was trippy, right? He gets in the car, he don't even realize it. He just kind of passes out, and before you know it, he like, I'm bleeding. So kind of one of those things. And so I know the whole, oh my God, you've been hit, right? I know that feeling. I've also been in scenarios where somebody got shot in the head and the thing, and so I'm the guy putting pressure. So I've been in all those scenarios, been full of blood, never the one hit. And I'm thinking, what goes through your mind when you get hit in the face? You know what I'm saying? Because that's not like I got hit in the leg or my foot. You got hit in the face.
The first thing you feel is ouch.
The burn, right? It's gotta be. Does it burn?
Nah, all seriousness, of course, it all depends on where you get shot at, the pain you're gonna feel.
Fact.
I actually felt like I just got hit with a sledgehammer, but the adrenaline is so high because it's not like one shot. I get hit, it's over. It's a war zone.
Yeah.
So you're not even thinking, you're not processing. So I get shot. We run, we jump in the car, everything is just racing. I get home, I got all my friends in my house. I'm bleeding, but I'm in the kitchen eating a bowl of Frosted Flakes. Because I don't know where my mind was at.
You're kidding.
I don't know if it was shock, I don't know what it was, but I didn't feel any pain until I got to the hospital and the doctor stuck the Q-tip through my face. Oof. That's when it seems like, in that moment, everything just stopped.
I've been hit.
Yeah. So
wow.
Reality hit. It wasn't the blood. I can't really. At this point, I give grace to God. Now, at first, I was young. I was Tupac, obviously. I felt Busta shot me one time.
Forget about it. Oh, yeah. Your rap songs went to a whole nother level. I know. I've been there.
Man.
I'm certified. But now I know God really gave me grace from the start to the end of that process.
Yeah. No, I definitely understand that. Now, but I have been the door knocked on and then hit with a knife in the middle of my chest. And
I'd rather get shot than stabbed.
Hey, listen. But when you don't go down, you become Pelican Bay. You straight up think you're the man after that. It's crazy. You don't think, man, God saved me. You think, now what?
Now what? Look at what I did.
Look what I did. Yeah.
I carried that for a long time, man. I did. It was hilarious.
That is crazy, man.
But God is good, man.
And so you got a podcast called Running Your Mouth.
Yes.
What are some of the things you run your mouth about?
Everything. Everything from A to Z. That's the beauty of having it called Run My Mouth, because I didn't want to put myself in the box. I wanted to be able to converse about any and everything that I felt like was on my mind or on the minds of the people.
Yeah.
So anything random, be it pop culture, be it God, be it family, be it pizza. It doesn't matter.
What are some of the hot topics y'all been talking about? Something that got some real.
What have I dealt with?
Here recently. What's the last topic you talked about?
Because I'm 1 week behind. No, we on episode. I'm getting ready to hit episode 50.
Nice.
We're about to be 50
Good
years
job,
old.
yeah.
What was episode 49 about? I don't even remember, to be honest with you. But you can check it out on any podcast. Just Google "running my mouth." I really can't remember what I ran my mouth about.
All right, let me ask you a question. What do you think? Okay, so this is a song right now dropping. Now, kudos to the writer of the song,
Yes.
and very talented and gifted man.
Amazing.
Doing incredible things. I've seen him on Sway. I've seen him on stuff. But I don't know. I want to ask you the question.
Too,
Yeah, from Houston. Just wrote a song. Try Jesus.
Try.
Yeah. But don't try me, because I fight. And so even though I laughed and I thought, okay, real creative, real cool, real fun, because you do music now. You're a rapper.
Absolutely.
So but you're a Christian.
Absolutely.
And so I'm hoping you walk that Christianity.
That's
You're
right.
a Christian. You follow, right?
Yeah.
I just did a song called "I'm Trying." I'm trying.
Yeah.
Okay, nice. Okay, so I just feel like the following is the execution of the idea
Absolutely.
or the thought,
Absolutely.
right?
Absolutely.
So so I see a lot of people sharing it, and I know that we just went through all the stuff with the black and the white and all this stuff, right? So sometimes I think sometimes we know that God is the Father of truth,
Right.
and that He's all truth. But I also understand that the enemy is very he's the father of lies.
Yes.
So he's like
Deceitful.
the master of a liar. Like he's not. He just didn't start lying yesterday.
Yes.
He is the epitome of the lie.
The father of it.
Yeah, the father of it. So he
Yes.
doesn't just come right in front of you. He kind of like does the whole magician thing, like so he comes this way, but he's really trying to get you to lie over here.
Yes.
And a lot of times I feel like all this stuff comes out, and sometimes we don't think. Like, let's say the song that just came out, we have I want to know your opinion on it, because I feel like this man has so much influence. And I actually had a couple people that I saw, that I know that have sent me the song. And basically they're like excited about it, because they're like almost the freedom of I can punch you in the face.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, they're excited, and they're asking me. I'm bringing it up not because I think the guy's super talented.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I'm bringing it up
Great
because
artist.
as a pastor,
It's necessary.
I have people now like, are we good? Like,
Yeah.
can I? And I'm thinking like, are we good? Can I punch someone in the face?
Yeah.
And justify the fact that, hey, you should have tried Jesus. My first, I'm telling people like, no, Jesus lives inside you. So
Yes.
I mean, right? So they are trying Jesus when they try you, if you have literally no longer live. Even though I understand what you're saying, like,
I see what you did there.
I see that, but right, if he lives inside me and they're trying you, they're really trying Jesus, because you no longer live, it is Christ who lives in
We're
you.
representatives
Yeah.
of Christ
Yeah.
everywhere
Yeah.
that we
And
go.
I think like it's all good to like share all that, but when you get a couple old gangster guys, so we're like, so am I good to like slap you in the face and say sorry after?
Everybody ain't safe.
Yeah. So what do you think? What do you think?
Sonically, as an artist, I mean, it's a phenomenal record.
Yeah.
Phenomenal record.
Yeah.
The lyrics, the music, the singing. So sonically, I love it. Message-wise, I just don't agree with the message. It makes me extremely uncomfortable for several reasons. One, I have obvious bias because I'm a Christian. I've sacrificed since 1999 to live this life. I've given up things to live this life, so I'm serious about it. So obviously, any hint of mockery towards it's going to make me feel a type of way.
Yeah.
Right.
So when I hear, try Jesus, don't try me because I fight, I feel like I'm putting myself basically before Jesus. I'm dumbing down Jesus. I'm saying that my Lord and Savior that took these nails, again, is my belief.
Yeah,
you
sure.
subscribe
I mean,
to
we
the
know
truth.
the guy's super talented,
Right.
but I mean, we have to talk about things that are influencing people.
Yeah.
Right, exactly. So it's a mockery to me, but that's the deep dive. The surfacey aspect of is extremely tone deaf, given the climate that we in. People are already on edge, and there'll a sect of people that's going to take it as a joke and just be able to go on with their lives. But there is a sector of people that's going to take that as permission.
Green light.
100%. And
Yes.
and anybody denies that, you're just you're just living in your own ridiculousness. You
Sure.
know that's going to influence somebody to pop
Especially
off.
in times like this.
Yeah.
Especially because it's a powder keg. We already
We're ready to punch somebody in the face.
and I'm seeing, like, again, it's shared, it's viral, and I'm looking at people that I know are cowards. Like, I know I've seen you in situations where you are a coward and you're singing this and you're allowing this negative energy to come into your atmosphere, not realizing what you're inviting in. You invite negativity into your life. It's not by me being an artist, especially a Christian artist that understands the power of words. And if you ask anybody to sing the ABCs, say the ABCs, they go sing the song.
Yeah.
Music is just a different conversation. And so
That's
any
powerful.
message that you put in music is going to enter people's subconsciousness and their hearts, and it's going to control them.
Yeah. And what do you think, Steph? Because I see you.
No, yeah, I mean, shout out to, Toby. It's a great artist, super talented. But again, it's the same thing. I kind of agree with you guys. Whenever I heard it, I was just like, hold on. That to me, and I'm only speaking off of my experience.
Yeah.
I was very lukewarm. I grew up in church, but then once I graduated high school, I was party life, but church on Sunday. So when I hear that song and I hear that message, like, oh, try Jesus, but don't try me because I'm gonna fight you. Like that to me sounds like lukewarm.
Yeah,
like
we gotta do
you're
better as
in or you're
believers.
out, and that to me and me personally in my life, that's something that I never want to go back to, and that's not something that I want to influence other people to do. And
Yeah.
so that's part of my story, my testimony when I talk to people and I introduce to them Jesus.
Yeah.
Because the Bible says we should make Jesus appealing. You know what I mean? You should make
Yeah.
him attractive. I don't want Jesus to look like somebody who is, half in, half out. That's not what Jesus is about.
And I've seen it firsthand. Good friend of mine, AJ McQueen, he don't mind me saying his name.
Yeah.
When he was younger.
He's talented. I'm trying to get him on. Call him. I'm trying to get him on. I'm trying to get him on.
That's done. He's already here.
Next.
Don't worry about
Got
it.
it.
He's here. He's sitting in the chair.
Booked.
Oh, fantastic.
Heard.
Yeah, it's easy. But he don't mind. When he first got saved, we was at the Kappa doing some street witnessing, and I've seen that instance where he was doing a great job ministering, but by AJ being a street dude, former street dude,
Yeah. Yeah, because he's in gangs and everything. Yeah.
Yeah.
started to change, and it got to where AJ was about to literally beat Jesus into another dude. I'm like, no, that's not what laying hands mean. AJ he's doing it wrong. Let's not do that.
But
So
it's important what you said is that he was a new believer, right?
He was a new believer.
He was a
Yeah.
new,
And
so
he had that energy to where I love you, but if you keep talking to me crazy, I'm going to smack you in your face.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so when you have a lot of people that's fighting that struggle and you give them that energy and that
Yeah.
permission, it's a dangerous thing.
Yeah.
because as mature believers, you're held to a higher standard. That's different.
Yes.
Yeah, and I know he's a believer, right?
Yeah.
I mean, he goes to Hope City. He's a believer and all that. I just think we have to be more well aware of what, because I understand it. Because there's moments where I want to beat somebody up.
Yeah,
Yes.
you're like,
You with me?
oh,
Especially
man.
from my background and all that.
Yeah, yeah.
But I have
Yes, many moments.
what gives bear witness to Jesus in my life is the fact that I
You
don't
didn't.
do what I used to do, how I did it,
Yes.
but I do it now. I was a do. I do it in a way that people say, "Man, that's different."
Yeah.
Yes.
You with me? It's
Yes.
not that I'm a punk. Now I am going to protect
Yes.
my family. I'm going to
Yes.
protect if I'm
Yeah.
standing
Yeah, we're
there
all about
somewhere.
that
I
message.
I definitely
Yeah.
get that.
Yeah.
But on the average thing, I want you to follow me, and I want you to, if I get a little upset, I don't want you to think that I'm going to punch you in the face, because I want you to be able to talk to me,
Yeah.
Exactly.
and me give you something different.
Exactly.
So I think right now everybody's chanting the fact that, hey, I can put you in the face. So don't be
Yeah.
surprised if you confront someone who's not a mature
They just
believer
get
and they
knocked
just hit you in the
out, yeah.
face.
It's a different kind of inspiration.
It's
man.
very kind of inspiration, man.
No, but it's super important. The weight of our words, and like you were talking about,
Yeah.
Gifted, is music. It's
Yeah.
consciously and subconsciously. We don't
Yeah.
even realize it, but
I've lived this thing, Steph and Pastor Wine. I have a good DJ friend of mine. The New Orleans club shut down at 6:00 in the morning. We party all night long.
Yeah, I saw that. I saw that, the whole Master P thing.
When I got here at 2:00, what do you mean? It's
hold on, we just got here.
It's serious. Time to go home. No, but I have a DJ friend of mine. He wanted to end the night. It was like 12:30, 1:00. I never forget this. And I said, "How you gonna do it?" I mean, he said, "Watch this." I watched him play a series of records, about 4 or 5 records, to where he took people from having fun, partying, to doing a little head bob, to throwing up their sets, to fighting, to the whole club getting shut down.
Yeah.
Wow.
Strictly by playing a series
Yeah.
of records. Now, when you say it like that, you're like, wow. but people really don't realize how much messaging in music dictates our actions. It's a serious thing.
I mean, try to watch a scary movie with no soundtrack.
Perfect example.
You're not going to get scared.
Perfect
It's the music that made you that mood. Yeah.
Perfect example, Steph. Perfect.
Yeah. I mean, it's true. There's. I mean, even I remember listening to music before I went to do things.
Yes.
You with me? Like when I was gonna, depending on the level of the crime, was the level of the rap, or what I listened to. I mean, if it was gonna slap, I gotta listen to something real gangster,
100%.
and it put me in that mood. It just set a tone.
Yeah, when you with your wife, you're not gonna put on DMX. You just not going to.
Oh my God!
Right.
But you're absolutely right.
Yeah. When you want to set a mood, you're gonna play something like
Yeah.
That's right.
When we did a good love. So, back in the day.
But it really also just a deep dive on it. It really shows me how even when the Bible says the very elect are going to be, pulled away because anything that looks good or sounds good, it doesn't matter. We ignore the messaging just to go with the popular thing. So I just hope we just.
So what do you feel is your responsibility as a rapper?
Yeah.
What do you feel is your responsibility now, right? Because you said you were in the streets, you got shot in the face, you sold drugs, you did all this, you had kids at 15. Now you're a teacher. I remember you going through, and you're a teacher that did not quit because you failed the test a couple times. And you fought. So you really wanted this teaching license.
I did.
You finally get it. So I see perseverance. I see you at church. I see you supporting all kinds of Jesus movements. Or building the kingdom, as we like to say, heaven, right? Like we just truly believe that we're citizens of heaven.
Right.
What would you say is a responsibility that you have today as a person who has a platform, has influence, and people hear your songs, which we're going to hear here in a little bit. But what's your responsibility?
Overall, my responsibility is to get people to the cross, get people saved. That's the number one goal that I have in anything that I do. Everything else kind of just builds upon that. I want to create the alternative. Some people just love hip hop music, regardless of who it is, and so I don't want to just take away from them and not give them something to replace it. So I want to be alternative. I want to give my testimony because we overcame them, by the blood of the Lamb, by the word of our testimony. And so there are things that I've gone through, things that I have experienced that I can share that's going to help a certain sect of people. But overall, it's getting people to the cross, man. It's not money. It's not being popular. I don't care if I have an audience of 2 or 2,000. I'm just trying to get people to Jesus because that's what has transformed my life. And I know what it's done for me, so hey, I want to share it with somebody else, like a good hamburger.
Do your students know you do music and everything?
Are you
jamming out? Are you like in the class like?
They always. I never start off with that because it creates an odd kind of dynamic. Like starting in the school year. I don't want to necessarily be that cool. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, because they try to run over, right? You give them a little bit. They just like
and by default, I'm already cool. By default.
Oh yeah.
So you add rap to it, it's like, but towards like the middle of the year, I start easing some things in because I teach English.
So you teach English. Hold on. You got in the hood.
All the words.
I teach words. I'm a bad man with adverbs and proverbs.
Okay.
Oh man, punctuation, all that.
English, grammar, the whole thing,
grammar,
writing, everything.
Man, hey, do you show up with the fitted?
Absolutely. I'm me. I mean, of course we have to dress. Cause
I get it.
Fridays we can dress down. So my tennis shoes, my hats. I am who I am.
And do you think Kingdom even there? Because that's difficult, right?
all the time.
All the time. They're like, oh, I wish I had J's like that.
But I let them know, like towards like at the end of the 9 weeks, I let them know what it is that I do, and I always infuse it into the school day because it helps.
I think that's so important, because there's people who, it kind of ties in with something that we're going to talk about later, but, you think you know me. It's somebody that you see and you think is just a rapper and he's just from New Orleans and he's just saying this, but really, you have a greater influence than just your music and your platform, but the students and the lives that you impact every day.
It's always funny. It's always funny for me because, like, when they walk in, it look like, you're a teacher.
You're a teacher.
Yeah.
They're like, are you like an old student?
Are you a teacher?
Did you fail a lot?
Are you just watching us till our teacher comes in?
Right.
How old are you?
Right. So for me, it's a real hilarious conundrum when I love it because my my school is in the hood. You know,
Uh-huh.
not stereotyping because what it is, that's my population. And so I love the fact that they can see me, know where I come from, and see what I've done with my education.
Dope.
I have a master's in education.
Nice.
You have a master's
Yes,
degree.
I have a master's. Glory to God, glory to God.
How old are you? How old are you?
I'm 38.
38 with a master's.
And
Out the hood.
When I let them
You can
know
do
that,
it. You can do it.
And I keep it real. Like, they know I've been to jail. They know I've done drugs. I live an open life to my kids.
Nice.
And let them know, listen.
To my kids. I like that.
It's
I
not,
love it,
they ain't
yeah.
mine. That's my kids.
Yep.
It's not about where you start. It's about where you finish.
Mm-hmm.
And it really helps them identify having a teacher like me that comes from where I come from.
Hey,
Yeah.
what's something that you would tell a parent? Like, you know what I'm saying? How could they help you as a teacher? What would you say to a parent?
In 30
Help.
seconds.
Help. Listen, listen.
Help.
Come, please. We need your teaching the kids as a team effort. We need help. If you have a parent, talk to the teachers, respond to our emails. Please come to PTO. I had a PTO out of 95 kids. I had 6 parents came.
Oh.
Come if you can.
Yeah.
Please.
That's
Help.
so
That's
good.
all I can say. Get involved with us, please.
Awesome.
And guess what? Gifted. You are gifted.
Fire song.
Fire. Hey, he is gifted the flame thrower. Okay. How gifted the game thrower?
The game thrower.
I'm like, yo, you throwing
Hey,
game.
he's spitting game and flames.
Hey,
I see what you did there.
you're like, might use that on the next single.
yeah.
You know, hey,
Thank
how
you.
did you? Man, it's just bewildering.
Yeah.
You know, I almost want to use big words when I'm around them.
Yeah.
You're like,
Go
oh,
for
you're
it.
an English teacher? Fantastic. Superb.
Superb. Yes, conundrum. You know, he goes into the hood and he's like,
He just
conundrum, and
starts-
everybody's
yeah,
like, what you conundrum? You know, like,
Wouldn't you?
Did you call my mom?
Yeah,
what you
yeah.
call my mom? So it's really cool, you know, that you do all this stuff. But yeah, Gifted, the flamethrower. Why
Yes,
Gifted
sir.
the flamethrower?
Well, before I was saved, my name was Hennessy. And so we had a label, Smoke One Records.
You know, I could
Hennessy.
identify with you back in the day.
Now, I was a Crown drinker, but Crown Royal just didn't have that kind of ring to it.
Yeah.
You know, but
You didn't want
Hennessy, I don't like Hennessy at all. I've always hated it, but the name just had a ring to it. I'm like,
Yeah.
That's dope.
That's
so
dope.
a rapper friend of mine, one of my mentors, Trey 8, he's passed away now. He gave me that name, and ironically, we was talking about Master P and all that. Smoke One was the first label to do a joint venture with No Limit. So Zeta, my wife, her older brother, when you watch the Ice Cream Man and all that white Lexus, that was his car.
Wow.
Really?
P borrowed his car.
Shout out to
from the
Zeta.
Shout out to Zeta.
Watch out.
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
so
Powerful.
fast
Powerful.
forward, cause just cut across the field. My brother, Pastor Mukes, he got saved. He invited us all to come to church via our other sister Valeria. And so once we got into the Word, I've always wanted to be authentic, pun intended, Steph.
Okay.
And so,
Hey, they
I
already
see,
know,
I
Steph.
see.
Okay, they already know, Steph.
See what I
Steph be
did?
dropping
Queen of
them.
punts over here. I got you. Good.
So I never rapped about stuff that I didn't live or that I wouldn't be willing to do.
Yeah.
And so I couldn't translate Hennessy for God, you know, like I'm staggering for Christ.
Yeah.
I'm trying to find all these things.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, John ate locusts, maybe. No, it didn't make sense. So I needed another name. And so I did Gifted. And then, you know, when you start doing a little research, you find, okay, that's too broad.
Yeah.
It's too broad. And so I added the flamethrower to it.
Why?
Really just to separate myself from all the other gifted things in the world. Gifted is just a too broad of a name.
Yeah, but why would you say flamethrower? You could have been gifted something else. Why flamethrower? What do you mean by
Because I
that?
spit heat. I mean,
You
Okay.
I don't want
heat.
to toot my own horn. Toot.
Yeah,
Fire. Hey, you're like
That ain't what
before
I
the
do.
emoji came out.
Yeah.
I was.
Hey, God blessed me at 8 years old with a gift to put these words together. And so that's ultimately, because I spit heat. Gifted the flamethrower.
Man, that's so
I love
good.
that a lot.
Yeah.
Hey, let me ask you another thing. Like, I understand the separation sometimes when we, you know, and I've talked to teachers or I've been invited to speak at schools and stuff like that. And when I go in there, you know, they're like, hey, you know what it is? You know, I got to speak from a place of like inspiration,
Church and
motivation,
government,
but
Yeah.
don't mention Jesus. So how hard is that for you, being a guy who builds kingdom all the time, and then you have to step into a classroom and you probably want to say, hey, this is what you need.
Yeah.
But you know, is it difficult, or have you figured out a way to maneuver and still give them, you get into anything, you're like, you got to be careful because I want you to get fired.
Yeah,
right. Because it's serious. Yeah, nah,
It's serious. I know it's a
all it
serious
takes
thing.
one kid and you're offended. It's over.
It's
over. Yeah.
It's over. So do you do this more like out of your lifestyle, and you allow them to emulate that?
Yeah, well, at this point, because the greatest sermon ever preached is the greatest sermon lived. But my mentor, Melvin Adams, former Harlem Globetrotter, my best friend, man.
It is?
Yeah, that's
we got to get him on the show.
Done. He's sitting right there next to AJ.
Hey, man, this is great. Maybe I could bring one of those red, white, and blue balls, and he could sign it or something.
He will.
We could have that right there on the...
He'll spin it on his finger. He'll do that.
Hey, hold him a cake. Stephanie, send him the email.
Great. One of the greatest men I've ever met in my life. Seriously.
Really? Is he here in Houston?
He's here in Houston. He lives in Tomball.
Oh,
right, yeah.
Fantastic.
And he's stable now because of Corona. At first,
yeah. Let's make this happen. All right, fantastic.
So he really
Master P.
He's a boy.
I can get to P if you want to do it. It's phone calls.
I would love it. I would love it.
I really can.
I would love it. Tell him, man, I was just watching this thing. I would love it because I hear he's a believer now.
Yeah, 100%. They actually, him and his son are starting a Christian media company where they're going to start doing Christian movies.
Okay, so now we got AJ McQueen. We got Melvin from the Harlem Globetrotters.
And we will try to get you P. Now P is a bigger fish.
I have the connection. He is a bigger fish.
I have the connection.
You got to talk to this guy.
Great, because I used to be a chef, so I know my way around filleting a fish. You know what I mean?
I
told you, y'all just here in the booth. We just recently were in the booth. I ain't gonna tell you what. Hey, I ain't gonna tell you.
I saw you sneaking around with the word reject. Listen, man, you my pastor, man. You can't be cheating on me.
Oh man. When the church folk get jealous.
Maybe they invited me into their tracks. I mean, I don't know.
They're real protective of their pastor.
They're real protective of pastor. Hey, I love you.
I have Jonathan, so that's okay.
It's okay. You got. I'll go through the son. I'll go through the son. You got the son. You got the father.
But Melvin really. I started doing school assemblies with Melvin.
Yeah.
And it was really difficult, man, because we can call it Christianese, but eventually that's really what you start speaking and you just start living, and it's just your natural conversation to say godly stuff, right?
All the time.
And when you in front 6,000 kids with 6,000 ears and principles, like that the separation of church and state is a serious thing.
Yes.
Because, and it's fair, because this is the United States of America. Hey, we have Muslims and Buddhists and atheists. We have a plethora of things. So
I want to run my mouth right now.
It was difficult.
I want to run my mouth because you know what? I hear you saying that, but I truly feel like every country has like a religion.
Yeah.
That they and say, oh, not religion, but it is a religion. You're just not to be religious, but it is a religion. Mm-hmm. So every country, and we can't go over there and shut that religion down. It is the if you go to India, you got Buddhists. Do
you really want to go down that street? Because think about it, that makes me think about maybe freedom. As beautiful as it is, sometimes it has its.
Is it really freedom?
Here's the thing.
Our freedom that created people to complain about weird things and get weird laws.
I feel like
then people walk around offended because of my freedom, but your freedom, and I don't respect your freedom.
Yeah, but I think because we have a weird, it's perspective.
Yes.
So when I know that in Christ I'm free.
Yes.
Yeah.
But
we think that in Christ you're in bondage, but really you're in bondage. It's the opposite.
I have a lot of atheist people that I speak with. I have a good atheist friend, and that's the question that I ask all the time. Listen, at the end of the day, even if you say that I'm a slave to this stuff, what am I a slave to exactly? Taking care of my children, loving my neighbor, not killing, not stealing, being faithful to my wife,
not punching somebody in the face,
not beating people
not
up.
People.
I mean, even eating right. You tell me when to stop.
These great principles.
What am I a slave to at the end of the day? So that's an interesting concept. But answer your question, it's even now I have to really catch myself because again, one slip up of Jesus, you can create a problem. You really can.
But I feel like kids are also very receptive of truth, and they're obviously social media is like all rampant. So you don't even have to say Jesus in your classroom. They're gonna know who you are. They're gonna know what kind of teacher you are. How you care about them. All of that. And so be sure to remember that these kids, you know, they're smarter than they think, and they're gonna see the Jesus in you. And when they're outside of the classroom, whether they're in high school or whether they're whatever, they're always gonna remember that teacher.
I've seen it a million times, Steph. They recognize something is different, and then you see some of their, because a lot of them go to church. Yeah, you see they'll bring the conversation out in the open, and you can just sit back and be like, say it again.
Yeah. You're like, that's a good one.
I can't say it. Say it again.
Say it again. You start wearing shirts with stuff typed. You're like,
good job.
Yeah.
Hey, and you know, so cool. On the show, there's some segments that we love to do. Yeah. With every guest that we have, you know, we love to do these segments. And you know, you're on the show.
Yeah.
And so
we get to do some of them with you.
Yeah. So what's one of the first ones we want to do?
All right. First off, let's kick it off since we're talking about your kids and youth.
Okay.
Let's do Dear Younger Me.
Dear Younger Me.
All right. So we heard a little bit. You know, you said you had your first kid at 15. You know, you out there tried everything.
You was tripping.
Yeah.
You was tripping. But that's real.
Yeah. So okay. So talk to young Terrenceville, young, you know, Gifted. Yeah. What advice would you give to him? And that could be anyone that's listening.
Absolutely. Because we believe that there is a younger you out there, whichever age you get to pick. But, you know, let me show you how we do
paint
it here.
The picture.
Let me paint the picture. So you're chilling, and all of a sudden, the clock tower starts to spark out, and the DeLorean rolls up.
Okay.
Dude with the white hair jumps out. It's a chick, and it's Stephanie, and she's like, where do you want to go?
Doc Steph.
Doc Steph. So she's like, hey, where do you want to go? What year do you want to go to? So you get in the car, the doors go down. You're sitting there, and you got to hit the button to the year you're going to go to. What age were you?
I want to go to 93.
93. How old were you?
How old were you?
94. I'm thinking I'm about 12-ish.
Okay, 12-ish. Okay. That's a good age.
I'm 1.
Yeah.
You're
2 years old at that time.
That's when it started going left.
That's when it started going left. Okay, so you're going to go, you pop up in the room, and there's Gifted. What is he doing?
That's a kid. He's playing... What am I playing? I'm playing Nintendo.
You're playing Nintendo. Wow.
Tecmo Bowl and Double Dribble.
Okay. Double Dribble.
I used to love Double Dribble. Nice. And I'm eating the peanut butter jelly sandwich.
Yeah.
And everybody calls me TD.
Wow.
TD. If anybody still calls me TD now, they know me.
They know you. Yeah.
They know me.
Anyway, so
TD, you walk in and you're like, yo, what's
listen,
you
kid,
walking?
that thing that your mama tells you, enjoy your childhood, embrace that. Put it in your heart. She used to tell you, listen, you have your whole life to be an adult. Enjoy your childhood. Be a kid.
Yeah.
Play in the dirt. Eat your boogers. Bite your fingernails. Eat peanut butter and jelly sandwiches all day. Don't do anything adult, because all those adult things that you're going to start doing, they're going to, well, I know the end of the story. So I can't say they're going to ruin your life, because the adult,
but again,
they make it more difficult.
Thank you, Stephanie.
Yeah.
They're going to make your life far more difficult than what it really had to be. Nah, you're going to be okay.
Because you're going to take responsibilities that you really shouldn't have at that young of age.
At all.
Yeah. You're still going to reach the finish line, but you're probably going to get there with less cuts and bruises and bullets in the face.
Less cuts and bruises, less weights.
Less bullets in the face. That's a good one. Less bullet wounds.
Less car accidents. You're going to have a car accident where you're going to be drunk and you're going to crash into a building and bite a hole in your tongue. It's going to hurt a lot, but you're going to live. But you can avoid that if you just keep biting your fingernails. And
because all this time should be prep time.
Yeah.
Yes.
You know, it should be prep time. You should be preparing for your adulthood.
Yes.
In this, different seasons of preparation, right?
Yes.
Different thought processes.
Yes.
I don't want you thinking like me.
When I was a child, I thought like a child.
Yes.
I thought
that younger.
And for the one who's older, think like a man.
Right.
Well, that's a whole other show.
Yeah.
I wanted to be grown. Everything around me was older than me. Everything, my cousins, my god brother, and so everything, all of my experiences was not of my age.
Yeah.
And so it made me willfully experience things that children should not experience.
Yeah.
And without God, it could have had a catastrophic outcome.
Wow.
Because there could be children listening, but also parents. I've experienced that too. Just in friends, family, that they're so comfortable with having 6-7-year-olds sit at the table and at adult conversations and listening and doing things. So I think it's a good message also.
What they're watching, just the certain
parents.
disciplines. I think this country we're failing at discipline.
Yes.
Like because it's easy to let your child play video games for 12 hours or put an iPad in somebody's hand and not really have to, really parent them.
Yes.
I mean, and we're all guilty of it in some form of fashion, right? Because it's like, go in your room. But reality is we're hurting that child because we're not guiding them in like, hey, in certain disciplines.
Yeah,
like
and sometimes it's also, out of a necessity. I feel like I've seen a lot of single parents have the older sibling that is basically the second parent because there's nobody else in the home. So the child has to grow up quickly. But it's important, whether it's a child or a younger person listening now or a parent to say, hey, yes, they may, you may need to utilize them for help, but also let them still be a child. Because like you said, you're not going to get your childish age back, And
fast forward to now, if TD was in 2020, I wouldn't make it with the access that these kids have, the level of influence. So even now it's more important to where like these kids really have to be kids. But that's what I would tell. That'll be the main message outside of giving him hints on maybe like some football games. He can maybe the almanac.
You're like, the almanac. You're like, now bet on Michael Jordan now.
So that in Apple, that little thing that your teacher keep telling you, that stupid computer with the green letters, is going to be very, very important, kid. Master it.
Put some money in it.
In computer class. Stop it.
Yeah, stocks are like $1 now. So
enjoy your childhood. You got the rest of your life to be an adult.
Enjoy
it. Let's do one more of our segments, which is called.
Wait.
Okay,
Before
go for it.
Real quick, real fast. I want you to something in ministry. When did you start ministry?
1999.
Oh, okay. So I know where you're going.
Let's go. What would you tell that guy in ministry?
Calm down. Don't be overzealous, because I hid behind the cross, but it was all pride. I'm that dude that'll sit in the barbershop and, hey, so what about that Jesus thing, huh? You're not saved. Cigarettes? Come here.
Wow.
Come here. Calm down, man. Calm down. Give people the same grace and mercy that you need and still need. Every single day. Stop being overzealous and religious and what's the L word? The L word that we hate as Christians. Legalistic.
Ooh.
Stop it. Oh, I was horrible. You met me in 99. I'm sorry.
I apologize. I feel like every believer has that stage, to where you just get fired up. You're excited and you don't really know how to act.
I was different.
And you just want to,
I was in prison doing backflips, telling everybody, yo. I had an older gentleman. Them and Mama Vinny, who one day was like, young man. He was an older black guy.
I wish I had a Mama Vinny.
He told me, hey, he said, young man. He said, I have the Holy Spirit for that. And I mean, I didn't know what to say. I was like, I felt like super dumb. I'm like, okay, he told me to tell you. You want to, but that's really good advice to that young minister.
Calm down, man.
It's going to be okay. It's going to be okay.
Sheesh.
He wants to be the flamethrower.
You're not the Christian police. Put your badge away, man.
Put your badge away.
But
it is okay to present something properly as we mature.
As you mature.
Yeah, because as we're growing in different seasons, we're gonna understand things differently. So the 15-year-old, he's right at a 15-year-old thought, but he doesn't really understand the thought of the 20-year-old.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And they're both right, just at whatever age.
And everyone's different. Sometimes some people do need somebody all up in their face telling them about it. Sometimes people don't receive it like that.
Yeah.
So, again, it's being guided by the Holy Spirit.
That's really good. 70, what's the next thing?
All right. You think you know me.
You think you know me.
All right. So this is where we address all sorts of misconceptions or things that somebody may have assumed about you.
Okay.
And we're going to set the record straight. Because, we talked about it a little bit at the beginning, how, they know you as, Gifted, the Flamethrower, rapper, Master P, all this stuff, New Orleans. But, we just shared it right now, Master P. But no, Gifted has a master's. So he's a teacher.
Hey, let me tell you.
He is a master of English.
But I don't know what
these things in, man.
But so they think they know you, but
you think you know me. Because everybody lives off of social media. So they see a snippet and all of a sudden they assume they know everything about you. It's kind of like the people that just read the one scripture. And just really try to put everything out of context. Same concept.
A lot of people definitely didn't look at me. Stereotypes are a real thing. And the thing about stereotypes, there are some small truths.
Or prejudgment. Just judging pre. That's just prejudice. That's what prejudice means. It's a prejudgment.
So it's like my education, how serious I am about being educated. That's definitely not an assumption that people just make until they speak with me. I'm naturally an introvert. I don't mind. I'm an ambivert. I can do both. I go in and out. But naturally, you give me a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, some milk.
You mentioned peanut butter and jelly.
We should have had some of that.
We should have had. Next time we have Gifted, we're gonna have peanut butter.
Notes right there.
But there is a prejudice. It has to be Jif peanut butter, and it has to be grape jelly. And Alabama, Welch's. I don't teeter-totter from the two, but I can't do anything but Jif. No Peter Pan, no Skippy.
You ever had Goobers?
I would never try it.
Hey, I have to put you down on that, man.
Is that the mixture?
It's the mixture.
Oh, no.
It's the mixture.
Yeah, Pastor likes.
I love that.
No, that's like peanut butter and jelly dressed up for Halloween, man.
It's spooky.
It's spooky.
Have you tried it?
I have not tried.
You can't knock it.
I can't knock it.
It might change your. I used to be able to eat that like that out the spoon.
Really?
It's incredible.
I've seen it times, but I just kind of.
It's been. Hey, listen. If it's been around that long.
This is true.
It's got to have some type of credibility.
I don't know.
Air Force Ones came back.
I mean, Long John Silver's is still in business. That don't mean they're the best either, though.
Exactly.
Somebody like that fish.
Somebody's still eating that.
Crunchy peanut butter is still here. Man, who likes crunchy peanut butter?
Oh, my God.
But yeah, I'm an introvert. I don't mind being extrovert. Like I said, I'm an ambivert. I can go to both, but I really like to be by myself.
Hey, so is there anything that they've actually seen, that they've, how people...
assume
things, like they see something and then all of a sudden they start talking about you, but it's absolutely wrong.
Oh, of course, many times.
What? Like what?
Because I run my mouth.
So they think. What do they think?
So a lot of times, and again, it's my job to properly communicate. But sometimes I don't properly communicate, and you get misunderstood. I'm trying to pull in. Definitely. I shouldn't even talk about this again. I got in trouble last time. I spoke about hair. Okay.
You spoke about hair.
Now you have to understand, black women in hair.
We're going into the black women in hair.
But I meant well. Because I had a friend of mine. She is of Puerto Rican descent. So she has
Puerto Rico.
Now I gotta be careful with this because I don't want to get skull dragged again.
Skull dragged.
She said that she had good hair, right? And I was trying to make the point of there's really no such thing as good hair. It's straight or coarse, but I communicated it terribly. And when I tell you, I had at least 20,000 women attacking me from Facebook to
you blew up.
Calling I went viral. Calling my wife, Zeta walks in, what is wrong with you? Why? That's not what I said. So it's like.
So you do care about hair.
I can't. I see what you did.
Wow. Wow. He's been waiting to say that one line.
No. Hey, listen. I mean.
He's like, hold on, guys.
Hair care.
You do care about hair.
So that was
everywhere.
Everywhere. Oh, don't you dare.
That was a terrible experience. And so now I just say. That was a terrible experience. Now I just say there's no such thing as good hair or bad hair, and I don't go into any of the conversation.
It's good to have some conversation.
It's good because you can clear the air, and then obviously just have.
They were trying to hurt me though, Steph. I was getting definite.
They were coming for you, man. Yeah, you don't play with women in their hair.
Let me tell you. So we played the song earlier.
Yeah.
And so, what was why'd you write it?
Man, I got the beat from Spec House out in California. Great producer, Flame, Grammy nominated, all that stuff.
Wow.
And when I write,
we need to get him on.
Easy phone call. He's sitting next to me.
They're all in the waiting room.
They're all in the waiting room.
Man. Well, Matt Speed may be in the hallway, but AJ and Melvin are definitely sitting in their chair.
Okay.
And Spec is next to them. That's easy.
Okay.
And so when I write, sometimes I may have a topic that I want to attack, but I just heard the music. The music just gave me what it is that I wanted to write about, and it just came out. It's a wonderful record. It's about just how we try, how we have real life struggles. Like there's a line in there where I say, payday loan people calling, and I'm not answering the phone. You know, people really struggle with this kind of stuff, and we're just trying to make it through this life. But at the end of the day, the try should lead you to Jesus. Try Jesus. See what I did? That's how.
Oh, came all the way around. That's how you try Jesus.
That's really how.
That's how you really should try Jesus.
That's how you try Jesus. Yeah. That's really that's the essence of the record. Just keep trying. Don't give up. It's gonna be okay.
And the album's coming out in September, right?
September 1st.
That's pretty self-explanatory, but tell us what we can expect.
Just a lot of songs that are dealing with authentic things. Be it our real life situations, of course, Jesus. Kids.
Is this song out of the one in September? This is one of the songs. So we're getting another leak.
No, that's the single from the album.
Singles out.
Okay, well, hold on. We need a leak. A leak.
A leak? Oh, that's easy.
Hey, that's sitting next to okay.
You're my pastor. I give you the album's next to Melvin. Don't worry about that.
That's so good. Okay, so what was it?
Go ahead, authentic.
Authentic is just anything that's authentic because we hide behind the mask. Especially as Christians, we make it seem like that we forget that narrow is the way. So we have to remind people that yes, we struggle, we get angry, we get depressed, we get stressed, we feel we are not superhuman, and that's not what God promised us. The only thing He promised us that He would never leave nor forsake us.
Ooh, that's
man,
so
you know what, Gifted? Thank you so much for tuning in with us, man.
Make sure you guys watch us on YouTube at This Is Real with Juan Martinez, and if you're looking for a home church, visit us at www.getrap.tv for all the information, or write us at P.O. Box 671-626, Houston, Texas 77267. And we want to thank all of our partners for making this show possible by showing love and support. And if you'd like to partner with us, visit juanmartinez.tv.
And remember, that's a wrap.